So yesterday we talked about exponential equations, and we had some pretty simple exponential equations yesterday. So today we're going to be doing exponential equations that have multiple steps in them. So here, if I look at this equation that I have 3 times 9x equals 15. Now, what we were talking about yesterday is we were taking the natural log of both sides, right? But I don't want to do that yet because I won't be able to bring down my x because I don't have the exponential part all by itself. So before I start, what I have to do, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to rewrite 3 times 9 to the x equals 15. Before I start doing anything, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So I'm going to get the exponential term, this term right here, all by itself first. So that means my 3's will cancel out there, and I'll get that 9x equals 5. So looking at this now I see that the 9x is all by itself. So now I'm going to take the natural log of both sides, and then I'm going to do 2 steps in one. I'm going to take the x and bring it to the front. So I'll get x natural log of 9 equals the natural log of 5. After I'd have done that, I just solve this just like I did yesterday, and I'll divide by the natural log of 9. Divide by the natural log of 9. And the natural log of 5 divided by the natural log of 9, when I enter that in the calculator, gives me that x equals 0.732. And that is my answer right there. So remember, the difference between today and yesterday is that today we have this number here in the front. And we have to make sure that before we take the natural log or the log of both sides, we get the exponential term all by itself on one side. So that way we can bring our exponent to the front. So let's look at another example. So this one has even more steps involved in it because it has this exponential term we have right here is being multiplied by 3, and we're adding 6 to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this 5x as if that is my entire variable. So I'm going to try and get this 5x all by itself on one side. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides, and then my 6's cancel each other out here, and I get 3 times 5 to the x equals 21. Now just like my last problem, I have 3 times 5x equals 21. So to get that 3 out of this side and onto the other side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by 3. My 3's cancel each other out, and then I'll get that 5x equals 7. And now I have my exponential term all by itself on one side, over here my 5x, and I have the 7 over here. So now I know I can take the natural log of both sides. So I'm going to take the natural log of both sides, and I'm going to bring my x to the front, and I'll get x natural log of 5 equals the natural log of 7. I'll divide both sides by the natural log of 5, and then when I enter that in the calculator, I get that x equals 1.209. So there's what my x equals. So today, our problems aren't getting necessarily more difficult. We're not solving them a different way, but what we have to do is we have to get our exponential term all by itself first. So the first thing we have to do is, one, we have to get the exponential term all by itself on one side. Then once we do that, we're going to take the natural log or log both sides, and then 3 we just solve our equation. Okay, so there's the 3 easy steps that we can do. Get the exponential term all by itself, log both sides, and then solve our equation.